Welcome to Backyard Astronomy. Welcome to Dreamworld Observatory. Title is kind of interesting, isn't it? Night of Testing. Come back and we'll see what that's all about. Oh yeah, welcome back. I got my little daughter in with me. This is Ginger. This is my buddy. She's running the show tonight. So she's gonna help me out with this video. Anyway, night of testing. I wrote down a few things that I wanted to do for the night. Now, I'm not sure what all we're going to do. I do know these are my objectives. There's about 5 things here. Sometimes, instead of doing videos, instead of doing pictures or planetary videos or whatever, because it's dark, sometimes you have to test things. And you can do a lot of setup during the daytime and all ahead of time and all this, but it comes a time where you have to test it and make adjustments. Those will probably have to be done in a dark sky with a star, and that's where we're at right now. I'm doing some modifications, and so these are the kind of things I'm going to be looking at tonight. So test number 1 will be, I'm going to line up all 3 of my scopes. You say 3? Yeah. You got a viewfinder, you got a guide scope, and you got an OTA, or the main scope. What you need to do is make sure all 3 of those line up on a crosshair. Why, you say? Well, if you're doing deep sky, and you look in your viewfinder and you don't really see what you're looking for, you're not going to see it in the big scope either, even if it's aligned. So what do? You look for a star close by and pull yourself over there. Okay. You may not see your image if it's not lined up. So what do you got to do? You got to line them all up. So that's one thing we're going to do. Test number 2. Let's push your dummy, my guide scope program. We're going to do one modification. You're not really going to see it. I've already done it actually, but I want to watch it and see what it does while we're doing this. So the test is to see what it's doing. It's just a thing I'm trying to do. Actually, I'm going to be adding the aux category to my setup. Another time. Test 3 is for the first time since I've been using Sequence Generator Pro, and I have just started messing with it really for real good. I want to use plate solve. Now, I've looked at plate solve to look up and see where things are at and how big it's going to be on my sensor if I shoot a photo. But it has another thing in there for plate solving and centering. It will actually replace your go-to scope, supposedly. Well, tonight I will be testing that. I am going to try it for the first time on my scope. So, the next thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be changing the focal length of my F10 SCT. I want to put a reducer in it. It's F6.3. And I want to reduce it down to F6. That's what I want to do. I've been getting some mixed things about that, and so tonight is the first test I'm going to really do for this. I'll explain more about that later. The next test I'm going to be doing is actually I'm going to use Sequence Generator Pro for the first time in a long time to do a complete series. I have already tested it and it seems to work. I was having a problem with that before. I'll explain that a little bit later too. So anyway, that kind of pretty much lines up what we're going to do. So let's kind of get down to business and see what we got going. Get started. We'll close open everything up, and we'll focus the scope, and we'll try from there. Okay, we're in Sequence Generator Pro, and a couple of things I'm going to try tonight. This is just one of those nights I'm going to throw some stuff together here because nothing specific I want to do except I want to try to get a few things working. Still fine-tuning a little bit on my PhD too, and still trying to make sure everything is lined up on my all my 3 scopes. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. I'm going to show you Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to take a couple samples here. Now you see where my star is right now? It's a little bit off. That's because I've been kind of messing around with it a little bit, and let's see if I can bump it over there. I don't think AutoGuide is going to let me do it. Okay, it's sitting right there. I'm going to let it sit there for a minute, and I'm going to try to realign it. Let's cut off the tracking for just a second. Okay, now I'm going to bump that right back over just a tad. That's basically pretty close to what it needs to be. I'm not going to worry with too much more on that. Let's put back the tracking and see if we can get that going. Now, I want to look at my viewfinder right there and make sure that it's centered. So I'll let you look at that while I go check this out. It's looking a little bit off. Let's see. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Okay, we got the tracking going. It's not too bad. It's a little bit breezy out there. If you cut off these bars, you can tell it's staying close to the line. We're gonna let it go for now. Now, like I said, that's the star I lined up on that Sirius, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to try one more thing. Right now, I'm trying to get my PhD doing like I want. It's doing a little better. Okay, so let's see what we can do. I'm going to go back to the sequence generator and see what I can get done over there. Alright, here we are here in the sequence generator, and I'm still taking pictures, and you know, we're right on the object. Now what I want to do is I'm going to stop with that, and I'm going to take off these crosshairs for a minute. And we are going to have a new sequence here. I want to try something. Let me see. Not sure how that's going to work, but I think I'm going to have to take off this for now. And we'll go over and let's just see what we got going here. Okay, we seem to be ready. I'm going to go for this IC434. That's the Horsehead Nebula. I'm going to see if I can't get that in there. And I'm going to try this Sequence Generator Pro plate saw one time. I'm going to see if I can do something with this. don't know if it'll work. Let's see. And let's see, what else I need? Smooth telescope, imprecise. I'm going to cut off this for the time being, the tracking. We'll go back and I think, let's see, auto rotate. Nope, need to cut that off. I don't know about that. We'll see what it does. Let's see. It says it's on target. I tell you what, let's do. Let's get us a shot here and see. I did not see it do anything. Speed 2 when target starts. Now, I was hoping to get a shot of it, but I don't think I'm going to get it. Right now, I'm going to get a 60-second. And we're only going to do one. Well, right now it's doing, it's supposed to be moving over there to the object and getting ready to start. It's validating, it did a reference. I've got a fail on here, but let's see if I can see anything. I can't tell. because it's already let's get it tracking and see what it does. Don't know. I'm actually just doing one frame. I want to see what it looks like. So it hasn't popped up here yet, so see, I'll have to shoot something very heavy, more than 1 minute. Sequence is complete. We don't want that. Okay, I got something here. What in the world? What in the world do I have? I do not see. Okay, that's cut off guiding for something that's definitely not happening here. I don't know what we got there. Okay, as you can see, I did get the thing to move. I was going to try to record it, but I had too much things going on at one time here. It did. I'm doing the Flame Nebula. I was going to do the horse head, but I'm doing the Flame Nebula instead. Got a star over here I'm going to have to get rid of, so we'll crop that out when we get to the end. It's going to be doing a 2-hour capture, so we'll just let it run. I'm trying to find another piece of information, but I haven't found it yet, so I guess we'll let it go at that. Alright, we'll let this run, and we'll catch you later. Now it looks like we're down to, well, it's downloading the last frame right now. So this is 2 hours worth of data. And we're going to process this tomorrow, maybe a little late now, getting a little cool outside. So we're going to call that quits. I did finally get a few things accomplished here. Plate solving. It's the first time I really actually let plate solving actually run my telescope. I use plate solving just to look up stuff, but first time I've ever actually let it run it and select the item and center on it. Did a pretty good job. That's the center of the Flame Nebula right there, and we'll see what we can do with it. Well, I was wrong. It looks like to me it's got one frame. Yeah, sorry about that. If you haven't tried this, that's pretty neat stuff. I'm kind of impressed with it. Got a few things going on in this image that I got to see if that might be a reflection there. I know that's just a glow from there, so it is reflection. I'll see if I can't get it out. If not, we'll cut it out. Let's take a look at the telescope in here and see if it's doing all right. We're fixing to shut this all down. Yeah, it's getting really low in the horizon now, so won't be able to shoot nothing on that side for a while. And we're going to call it quits tonight anyway. I want to get a horse head to go along with this, but right now this is just a test. I didn't even really try to center this. What I wanted to do is just test and see how this plate solving would work with my system. I've had quite a few problems with Sequence Generator Pro. I've had it for a couple of years and never gotten around to really trying it and getting it going. It took a while to solve a few of the problems in it. But once I got it straightened out, I like it. It's been going pretty good. This is the first time I actually done the centering with plate solving. It actually worked. I was impressed. Looking forward to doing a few other things. And also, I'm using a field flattener and reducer in here. Instead of using the F10 like I normally do, this is F6.3. So that's another story I'll tell you about. So we're going to shut this all down now. I believe it's finished. Yep, it says it's complete. Let's see. All right, we're done. We're out of here. Okay, we got a lot done. Some things work, some things not too sure if they work. I'll kind of review them a little bit. To line up all the 3 scopes, yeah, did that pretty good. I got every one of them on a crosshair. That's very important that you do that. The next one was to add the auxiliary mode onto the setup in Push Your Dummy. I think it worked. Don't know. I didn't have any trouble with it. Well, I did it starting up. I think it's because I moved something out there. I don't know. I went back and checked it, and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. Came back in here, and it was working. So might have been something the dummy done. Never can tell. So we're going to have to continue to watch that and see if it does work. I'll fill you in on that one day if it does work. Next one was the plate solving. Yeah, I think that worked pretty good. I tried a couple of things. First one I went to was the Horsehead Nebula. Now, based on the star pattern there, it looked like it did match, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't see the horsehead. So I did an exposure, and it didn't quite show up. Later on, I looked at it, and it was there, but you couldn't really see it. I could tell there was something there. So I kind of scrapped that whole deal, and I went to, as you'll notice, I went to the Flame Nebula. I did a few 60-second check on that, and it showed me something, so I went ahead and decided we'd do a sequence. I shot for 2 hours on that. At the end of this video, I'll post what we saw. Now, you have to remember one thing. The idea was not to shoot an image for show or collection or anything like that. What I was doing was testing. I was testing the f6.3. I was trying to convert my scope to an f6 before I can do deep sky and push the object back a little bit like some of these big objects. It did a little bit, but I was kind of confused on that because so I went back and I pulled up plate solve and I looked at the image I should be getting at f6, and it didn't quite match mine. I had more things, no, less things on my screen than what it was supposed to have on f6. Should have been more stars. The image should have been a little bit more deeper. Now, was it correct? No, it wasn't correct. But did it work? Yeah, it worked. I checked it also with the F10, and what I got was more than what was on the F10 look. So I figured out that it's somewhere probably between 8 and 8.5. Mathematically, I haven't done it. I'm just going by scale. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that test actually, the photo actually worked because I captured an image, and but it didn't do f6. I'm going to put more spacers in there. Started off, people who made the camera have all their suggestions on the internet says 55 millimeter. Mead, which is a type of reducer I have, all their listings show 85 millimeter. CELESTRON shows 95, I believe it is, and this other company, I can't remember the name, I think it's Atari or something, they have 105. So my next move is I'm going to put 85 on there, just like Meade had written down, and see if that'll work. As far as the reducer working, the reducer does work, and it was reducing. I just did not have back focus in there enough to get f6. So I hope this picture that's coming up of the Flame Nebula is not pretty. I only captured about I believe it was 40 images, and one or two of them messed up, so I had to throw them out. But so I'm only really, I think, stacking 38 is what it is. But the thing is, that object requires a lot of data to be collected. You need to be shooting it at probably about at least minimum 4, possibly 5 minutes per frame. And I think the next time I shoot either the horse head or the flame, I will probably shoot either 4 or 5 minutes and go for 100 frames. I had a time pulling it out. It didn't pull out a whole lot, but it was enough to say, okay, it worked, because I'm not going to be able to get this any more of this, because it's going over towards the west now, and I've got trees over there and some houses. I won't be able to get it at that time of night anyway, so with this daylight saving time business going on. So anyhow, I guess we're going to leave it for there. I think we had a successful night. We might do a couple more of these that way, because the only time I get to test is on a night that I got a sky, and I'm going to tell you, I have a hard time getting a sky. So we're going to, you might have to sit around and watch me scratch my head and my feet and everything else, try to get something to work, but that's going to happen. All right, so if you like what you saw, or at least you enjoyed it, click like below. If you haven't signed up, hit subscribe and ring the little bell. If you already subscribed, don't do it again. Just hit like. Okay, so until next time, this is Stan Bone at Dreamworld Observatory. Clear skies and keep looking up.